I'm here today with Bertrand Russell. I would just like to ask him a few questions. So tell us a bit about your childhood.
As a child, I grew up in a British aristocracy. My father was an atheist, and so we were well known as radicals. But I had a sister named Rachel and my brother Frank. But unfortunately, I was not able to know them as well because my mother and my sister passed away when I was 2, and then my father when I was 4. So my grandmother raised me since I was 4 to basically adulthood.
Oh. And where were you born again?
I was born in 1872 in Trellick, Monmouthshire, in the UK.
Okay. And did you go to school there?
No, actually, I was homeschooled by some tutors, my grandmother's choice. But for college, I went to Trinity in Cambridge.
Oh. Okay. And what did you do for your work?
Well, I was a mathematical philosopher and a professor at Cambridge, but unfortunately, they took away my lectureship, and so I had no job until I was offered by Harvard in the US, but the UK refused to give me a passport, so I simply published books by myself.
Oh. And you were married, weren't you?
Yes, to my first wife for 27 years, but I divorced her. And then I married 3 others. And had kids. I know, it's funny.
Interesting.
I know, but
Wow.
my
So
marriage
all right. Now that I'm
is
over
something like
that,
this.
so did you have any kids in your lifetime?
Yeah, I just said I had 2 sons.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. 2
All right,
sons,
and,
2 daughters.
Anyway, so what did you actually do in the mathematical field?
It wasn't enough for you. In 1901, I published one of my famous writings, The Principles of Mathematics, and I discovered a certain paradox that I named after myself called Russell's paradox. And what it is basically is that with the set of all sets, which are not members of themselves, such a set, if it exists, will be a member of itself if and only if it is not a member of itself.
Wow, that's really complicated. Could you explain on that a little bit more?
Well, I just explained it.
Well,
Do you
I
not
would like
understand?
some extra insight if you mind, if you don't mind.
It's
Alright, so Mr. Russell had to leave us, but I can give you a summary of basically what he told me before he left. He told me that throughout his career, he often gave many mathematical lectures at various universities across the world. He told me that he was a well-known political activist, and many of his stances were very radical. He was awarded the Sylvester Medal of Royal Society in 1934, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize of Literature in 1950. His most influential publications were The Foundations of Geometry in 1897, The Principles of Math Volume 1 in 1903, and the Philosophical Essays in 1910. He told me that he died on February 2nd in 1970 due to influenza, and also his contributions to math were that he started the field of studying the philosophy of math. And although many mathematicians have attempted to solve this paradox, nobody has successfully done so yet. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you and have a good night.